It's just so amazing because I am finally becoming the person that I always wish I was. Hello, everybody out there in podcast world. It's a new world for me. My name is Steve Gardner. I am living in New York City for the past almost 9 years. It'll be 9 years in August. And I'm a creative professional. I started out as a production assistant when I first moved to Manhattan, moved on to doing marketing for about 7 years. And now I am a full-time videographer and video editor for an incredible company. And over the years, I've been running my own sole proprietorship at the same time and finding great success in it and making a lot of great relationships with people. My brief bio doesn't really have a whole lot to do with my journey. I am starting this journey. This is a new journey. I've had a lot of new journeys lately, but this is the newest as it's happening right now. I thought about doing this for a little while, and I'll tell you, even though my habits have gotten better as far as my limiting beliefs, I definitely still talked myself out of it a while back. We have ideas in our lives to make changes to improve our quality of life, and then we find ways to talk ourselves back off the ledge so that we don't have to take the leap. And it's just a habit that I see people, including myself, doing all the time, and this podcast is a perfect example of that. I was listening this morning to a podcast, it was actually the first podcast that I ever listened to. I'm totally new in this world. I didn't even know what a podcast was or how it worked or what it meant. I don't even know how I found this podcast. I think it was through a supplement that I was beginning to take. The owner of the supplement company also runs this podcast. His name's Colin Stuckworth. It's called The Ancestral Mind. He has like 20 episodes now at this point, and that really is what got me into this whole podcasting universe. And this morning I was listening to a recent episode. I'm going to say the whole premise of it was just taking action. And that is why I'm here right now recording this, is because I'm just deciding to take action. In the episode, he just talks about how so many people like plan for like a new business venture or a workout routine or venturing into dating, anything that you can think of. He just talked about how people plan themselves into sabotage, basically. That they create so many steps of action that action is never actually taken. That's why I just started this today, is I was doing that. I was thinking I wanted to do a podcast a while ago. I had to get certain equipment. I needed, this XLR cable, these windscreens, this type of audio mixer. And it was just like, no, I need to just stop thinking about that and just record. The main premise of what his episode was about was taking action and following through. Not necessarily like picking up as you go, but you're never going to stop learning. You're always going to be learning. Like, anyone that says that they're the master of anything is just blowing smoke, because we're all in a growth process for eternity. So to plan and plan and plan to do something and then never actually pull the trigger is a disservice to yourself, because that's the beauty of the journey, and it's not about the destination. If we're thinking about a destination in life, like if I reach this point, I'll be satisfied, I'll be happy, I'll be fulfilled, then we have it all wrong. It's not about that. It's about finding joy in the journey. And I know that sounds corny, but finding the joy in the journey and realizing that the bumps in the road, the potholes, the peaks and the valleys are all part of the journey to growth and to learning more about yourself. It's a short series that he's got so far, and since then I've tuned into tons of other podcast series that have been super inspiring, from like health and finance, self-growth, even some Christian-based spiritual podcasts I've gotten into, which I haven't always been a very spiritual person, but this journey has led me there. And it's a beautiful thing to realize that you have passions and interests that you never really knew about, or you had found ways to avoid. And if you just lean into this, you can discover things about yourself that you never thought possible, which is basically why I'm even doing any of this right now and why I'm even talking to you guys. So, I'm going to do an episode that talks about how I got started on my journey to where I am. And it's not been a long journey, it's basically just started. But I want to document it and I want to share it with you in order to help other people begin their journey wherever they are in their mindset or their mentality. Just because I've been a sponge absorbing so much content, so many great stories and inspiring anecdotes from people that have added so much value to my experience and my journey, and I have to contribute back. I can't just be soaking it all up and then taking it in and then not releasing any of it to the world, because that's not part of a community. That would be sucking up the life force and then not giving any back to the universe. So that's my motivation behind doing this. So everything has changed for me, and I'm going to get into detail about this. So let's talk about the name. So the name for this is You, Yourself, and Why. And the reason that I came up with this is because this is all about meeting you. I feel like in this year alone, I have met myself. There has been the me up until this point that has lived in a fog, in a routine, on a carousel, and now I'm someone new. And why is that so important? Like finding your why, finding the things that bring you to life, that make you show up in this world in a new way, being your best self so that you can be the very best version of who you are for the people that matter most to you. It's so powerful. It makes me emotional thinking about it. I don't even know. I would rather die than go back to the way that I was, because now there's no turning back. It's just so amazing because I am finally becoming the person that I always wished I was. There were things about myself that I wanted to fix, character flaws I've had my whole life, things that I've wanted to be better at, idiosyncrasies I've wanted to get rid of, and I'm actually doing it. I'm not perfect. I'm never going to be, but I'm always going to be striving to be better. And that's just like, that's it. That is the it factor. And I'm finally doing that, and it's just so fulfilling for me just to wake up every day and be like, you know what, today I'm going to be better than I was yesterday. And that's like what I want to share with you, is this journey that I've been on, and it's been so fulfilling and so gratifying. And if I can inspire one person to do this, that will mean the world to me, because, if I can be any sort of a flicker of a flashlight to somebody else, guiding them in their journey towards self-discovery, meeting themselves, finding you, yourself, and why, then that would just mean everything to me. So it's my contribution, I guess. It's my giving back, paying it forward, whatever you want to call it. I'm really excited about doing this. So that's kind of where the name came from. It didn't take long to find it. I've always been super into puns, and so instead of like me, myself, and I, it's you, yourself, and why. I want to pull inspiration that I've had from thought leaders. Like, I am so obsessed. I'm reading Unleash the Power Within. Finally, I think it's from the 90s. Tony Robbins. Oh my gosh, he's a mastermind. It is so crazy how much I learned from him. Just like everything. He's just a genius. So I'm super excited about reading that book. I'm going to pull inspiration that I find from that book. I've been reading other books. Like, I've never been a reader, and I'm reading like tons of books now. I just can't get enough. Like, I just finished a book and I'm starting this new one. It's just like, give me more information. So I'm loving it. So I'm going to pull any inspiration that I find from just badass people in this industry that have been teaching and guiding and have been lighthouses for people for years, and that's their profession and that's their livelihood and that's their purpose in life. I'm gonna totally just collect all that and pour it out to you guys. I'm gonna have guests on the show, people that in my personal life that have inspired me, people that I've given to, people that have given to me, and I'm just gonna be super open about sharing and talk about their stories, share their stories about like how they found themselves, ways, and we're all finding ourselves, but how they have made an acquaintance or a connection with who they are in the past and how that shifted and shaped their lives moving forward, and how you guys can apply meaning to it in your lives. Like, what are the lessons? What are the takeaways? How can I take what I'm learning on this podcast and really implement it into my life so that I can improve and qualify my life and fill my cups up? And so I was going to share some journeys that I'm going on, but I think I'll wait. I think this is long enough. I'm going to share a lot of things that are going on with me that I've been working on and working towards. And a lot of it's really scary and a lot of it's really exciting at the same time. Just how I'm living my life, and honestly, how I'm never ever going back to the old me. So I am looking forward to that. This is super exciting for me. I feel so happy. I'm so glad you're here with me too. So stay tuned. We're going to have lots of great content, lots of great guests, lots of great pull quotes from amazing pioneers, and sharing my journey and how we can reflect it back on to you guys so that you can continue, begin, jumpstart your journeys as well. Also, I'm aware that the production value of the audio is definitely needs some work. I'm still working on that. So please, please, please just be patient with me as I invest and develop the quality of the recording, and definitely would love your guys' patience. If you have any questions, inquiries, suggestions on topics that you'd like me to discuss, you can send me a note. I would love to hear from you guys. It's info@youyourselfandwhy.com. I'm currently building out the site. It's youyourselfandwhy.com. I will include show notes with links to everything that I mentioned in each episode. So just sit tight with that because I'm still developing it. It's a work in progress. And then I have this like random saying that I want to leave you guys with, and that's breathe with meaning. Every breath that you take, put meaning into it. We're never guaranteed another breath. So if we every breath we take in, we appreciate it, we breathe fully, and we take meaning into it and pour it out into the universe, it's just so gratifying to live each breath with meaning. So everybody breathe with meaning, and I will talk to you soon.